Emilio, what can you tell us about this next record?
So I'm just gonna say I don't like that particular voice. I do like that voice, but I don't like that voice. It reminds me of this my old boss. And I'm not gonna say his name, but he was I work in it's fucking sales. They like to pretend it's not sales, but it's sales. And I had this one guy, and like I always thought sales is kind of sketchy, but I had this guy who was like you're not gonna teach that. That was a little bit more murder face, but
Yeah, that was a little bit weird.
You're not gonna teach, but he was like, you're not gonna teach somebody to play Jimi Hendrix the first time you show him guitar, right? Like, ease him into it. And like, it was like real fucking weird and slimy. So anyway, this next record, we're talking, we're going to Sillyville, Primus's Brown album. This was released in 1998, I believe.
I think it's 97.
97 July,
Let me check
buddy.
here.
Open your eyes.
Okay, so this, this is 97, and it's kind of a different approach for the band. The weird thing about Brown album is it's, there's a lot of really good bass lines in it still, but the guitar is a lot more prominent in Brown album, and we'll kind of get into that. But I guess, they wanted this to be sort of their equivalent to like Beatles' White Album or Metallica's Black Album. Primus has their Brown album. And it's pretty long for a Primus album, I think. I don't think their records usually run this long.
No, not over an hour. This one's over an hour.
Yeah, so it usually doesn't run that long, and this is, definitely like a big catalog of their work. So, in that sense, it can be a lot to take in. Like, 30 minutes in, you're like, holy shit, I'm still listening to Primus. What the fuck?
Well, I actually kind of misspoke because maybe it was a different trend because Pork Soda is about just as long. It's only actually Pork Soda is a couple minutes longer.
Which that record fucking shreds.
Yeah, pork soda is probably a little easier to take in though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like, well, we'll listen to a track in a second, but I feel like Brown album. I feel like a lot of their stuff on this record's catchier, but Primus's old shit was like fucking revolutionary for the time. Like they were pushing everything musically. That being said, Emilio, what's your favorite track on the record so we could take a little listen, a little looky-hoo?
So I think honestly my favorite track on Brown album is probably, what is it, Resting Bones?
Resting Bones.
Is that what the track is? That what the track is called?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the track.
And it's a really weird one. Like it's one of the It's got a very weird feeling to it. The lyrics are very strange.
I'm surprised you picked it, to be honest with you. that's I feel like that's a deep cut. But like, why do you like that song? Real quick, I want to know.
Again, yeah, it's weird, man. Like I think it's him like approaching. It seems like maybe somebody homeless, or like he's approaching somebody and he's asking him for a lighter, and he's like, oh, if I give you like a lighter, like let me partake in what you're doing, and he gets this guy really fucked up, and yeah, it's just a really weird song. Like to me it's probably one of like the weirder songs on the album, and it kind of reminds me of things that they were doing before this album. Like it's not quite as catchy as say things like Shake Hands with Beef or Over the Falls. It feels more like it could be something off of like Pork Soda. Maybe that's why I like it.
All right, that being said, let's play some Primus for everybody. All right,
into it.
Yeah, Primus, Resting Bones. Let's listen to that bass. That was wonderful. That was some Primus, Resting My Bones.
Amazing storytelling, just gotta say.
Yes. Thanks for the bits, Orlandoom, wherever you are. We're glad you're out there.
Right here.
Sure you are.
I feel like this is something that like I feel like this is something that happened at a concert they played, and he just wrote a song about. Like they watched some old dude get like way too fucking high, and they were like, "Yeah, let's write a song about that."
This guy's got to rest. He's got to chill.
I love the creepy guitar leads, man. It's like you know, I think about this like when you think Primus, most people are like Les Claypool, you know. This guitar player is a fucking legend, man. I love this. His name is man. I had his name pulled up a second ago. Sorry, Larry LaLloyd. Right?
Larry Lalonde.
Lalonde. Is he on this record specifically? Yeah, he is.
Huh?
He's on quite a. He's yeah. He's you know, permanent part of Primus, I believe.
He is on this record. On every record he's sick, but this record he fucking shreds, man. He like Camelback Cinema is a good song to listen to. That guy just fucking rip on guitar. Bob's Party Time. I mean, like his leads are insane. Like it's almost like anything that Les Claypool can do. Like, you know, he's especially with the tone. Brown Album. I feel like the bass can be considered brown sounding in a way, like very fuzzy and thick, like a bass should be. But you know, like Les Claypool, the way he plays it like it's a lead guitar in a way, and it's very like rhythmic and forward pushing and stuff. But then Larry here is laying down these sick leads, going toe to toe with the guy, and then you have a drummer who plays the pocket like a fucking master.
Well, yeah. The one thing about Larry that like a lot of people don't know, and I had to make sure that I was remembering this correctly too, is he was one of the original members of Possessed. Like,
yeah, the death metal band.
Yeah, like
holy shit.
Allegedly, like, unless you're one of the people that thinks Venom is the first death metal band, which they're not, Possessed is. So it's like, it's so crazy for this kind of guy be playing like original proto death metal, and then teams up with Les Claypool and makes one of the jaw-dropping experimental bass-heavy bands of all time.
Match made in heaven. I mean, holy shit. He really drives the song with Les Claypool, and I don't know, man. This is like a crazy trio situation where everybody's like god tier. Like, I love the fucking drums. I know we were just talking about the snare a second ago in the chat. Like, I can't, like, this is what you want your drums to sound like on a record. You know, loud in a cave, but everything is nice and fucking fat. Anyways, Emilio.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brown Album, compared to, like, some of the other stuff they've done, because, like, Primus, and honestly, like, I kind of fucked up this week, too. Like, I don't think this is, like, a guilty pleasure, because like I fucking love Primus. Like, I love most of their work, man. I've seen them live once. I'd like to see them more. But this is like a weird album for them, because like it feels a lot more I don't know. I don't even want to say like controlled. I don't think that's the right word. But like it's kind of like they found a really like good sound to work with. Like, they found the Primus sound and just like kind of perfected it in this album and really concentrated that sound. So like I think that's why you know, the bass is just as good as the guitar, is just as good as the drums, are just as good as Les Claypool's like you know, type vocals. Like, everything like is conveyed really well in this album. And I used to I picked this up at I found this album at FYE at the fucking Coral Square Mall when I was like,
God,
dude, I think I was like 16.
Still there, guys.
Yeah, I think
just saying.
I think I was there. I think I was like 16, dude. They've gone out of business like 12 times. They're like, "Oh, we're going bankrupt." You know? And then it's like enough people bought Dragon Ball Z shirts that like we can stay in business for another month.
Rick and Morty fucking put them back in business.
Yeah.
That's the facts.
Yeah.
Fucking teenagers
exactly.
and Rick and Morty. Oh, Lord.
Dude,
they're like, thank goodness.
Like 2 GameStop shifts in that mall,
Oh.
and I've never been sweatier at work in my entire life.
Dude, that was the.
It's all the fumes from the fucking the food court. You know.
So I hated that FYE because their metal section was a fucking joke. It was like a baby, like you had the biggest rock section in the world, and then you had like a hip hop section. Then their metal section was like this wide, and like
right. Well, Jay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy.
You would go to Sawgrass FYE, and it's fucking like a giant row of experimental metal and stuff. You know what I mean?
That store was way bigger too.
Yeah, I can understand that. But like they mostly sold like merch there, and DVDs. But if you go there,
I was just gonna reminisce.
It's just Rick and Morty. I'm serious. Go there today. It's literally like half the store is Pops, which I'm cool with, by the way. Yeah, and Rick and Morty shit, which I'm not really that cool with. I'm just like, there's too much of it.
Yeah, we used to get in the green Passat and drive to the Sawgrass Mall to go to FYE because that had a better selection. But I picked up this album probably when I was like 16. I played it all the time in my first car. It was a little Nissan Sentra, like an orange Nissan Sentra. And I listened to this album all the fucking time, dude. Like, I've probably listened to this album start to finish, 20 plus times, if not more, So it's a really, like, personal album. It's what got me into the band before I started diving into things like, Pork Soda and Frizzle Fry, and then their later work, and, all the fucking Les Claypool's, like, million side projects. And it's got a lot of girth, dude. Like, the drums are awesome. The guitar, probably some of their best guitar work.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I don't think they have as many like hits on this album, right? Like, they've got Over the Falls, they've got Shake Hands with Beef, some of their biggest tracks. But it's not like Tommy the Cat. It's not like Winona or
Big Brown Beaver.
A few.
That's their best song, by
Winona's,
the way. Just saying.
Yeah, it's their goofiest song is probably their best song.
Yes.
It's fucking ridiculous how good that song is.
So their hits, man, they got like 3 hits that I would say like.
Tommy was a race car driver.
Yeah. Jerry was a fisherman. But those songs, the only thing what makes those songs is he basically wrote the best fucking bass line in the world, like 3 times. Yeah, and that's what happened with those songs. You know what I mean?
You got, Tommy the Cat, where it's like,
yeah, it's like you could put that on loop.
It's aggressive as shit.
Yeah, you could put that on loop, and everybody's dancing all of a sudden. They're like, "What the fuck?"
But I have a really important question.
Sure.
I know, like, actually, I have 2 questions. My first question is, Emilio, is this a guilty pleasure for you simply because you feel that the other Primus cuts are sacred and superior, but you still feel that you have to like the Brown album?
Yeah, I would say like that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a guilty pleasure because it's like reminiscent. Like it was something I kind of like found when I was like 16 or so, like, young and like still getting into like metal and weirder music. So like it, kind of has like a special place in my catalog of music. But I think I did fuck up in the sense that like this isn't totally a guilty pleasure. Because my first pick was going to be 3 Inches of Blood, which that band is goofy as fuck.
That's not a guilty pleasure,
probably
dude.
Okay, well, hear me out. My second guilty pleasure, and I already 2004 Phantom of the Opera. Past the point of no return. Like, I'm singing Phantom of the Opera in the shower all the time. I know.
We should have a movie night where we watch that.
My God.
Let's fucking do it.
My second question is, who wins in a fight? Jerry was a race car driver or a shogun named Marcus?
Emilio?
Jerry was a race car driver.
Okay.
You think so?
Or maybe what's it called? John the Fisherman.
John the Fisherman.
Wait, did I say Jerry was a fisherman?
You did.
Oh my lord.
Andy has a big brown beaver.
Andy is a big brown beaver.
Yeah, Jerry is the name of every fucking subject of every Primus song.
And
shake hands with Jerry.
And what they put on the cup when I go to Starbucks.
Oh yeah, I saw that. How could you fuck that up? They do not sound alike.
Yeah, Jerry.
Maybe she just didn't feel like spelling your name. I'm sorry, I just
Jerry.
assumed it was a girl. It could have been a dude.
I don't remember.
You look like a Jerry. Who gives a shit?
All I saw was red and just a seething rage. That's not my name.
What if the person gave you like a 1R? Like just 1R Jerry? It's like, you're so goddamn close.
Jerry.
Oh no, you know what's it's funnier to like instead of like fucking up somebody's name at Starbucks, it's funnier to fuck with your regulars. Like people you're like say somebody just gets like a plain black coffee every day. You're like, cinnamon dulce latte for Todd? And they're like, what? I didn't order that. And you're like, I know you didn't see you every day, you dumb son of a bitch. Like, I know what you get. And then you give them their coffee and they're like, ha ha ha.
They still check
I didn't tip today. Like, I'm not going to tip tomorrow. Yeah, they still check it.
How dare you be funny before I have my coffee? I could have killed you.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me or I'll kill you before I have my coffee.
Yeah, I'm not a human being until I have my coffee.
I'm a vampire teenage werewolf before I have my coffee.
Hey man, that's my persona. I'm a teenage werewolf. That's just me, man. That's how I roll, dude. But yeah.
Did you make this extra dry? Yes! Yes,
Hey.
I did. I did it yesterday. I did it the day before. It's dry today, you son of a bitch.
What the fuck is dry coffee?
It's foam. It's
well,
fucking foam.
It's foam. You get some foam on there.
I had to make a coffee 6 times. 6 times at Starbucks because it wasn't dry enough for somebody. So then he requested another barista to make it. And then the barista made it. And it was like, so this guy was holding it up to the light and looking through the cup to see how dry it is. And when that teaches you, that humbles you as a human being. When you see another person look through the cup, is like, not dry enough, bud. Redo it. And you're like, holy fuck, man.
So coming from my perspective, I'm sorry we're fucking talking about Starbucks.
It's okay.
Now,
it's okay.
But I'm passionate about this. I drink black coffee. I don't put fucking shit in it because that ruins it. I just want to taste the bitter beans, and I want that caffeine to go straight into my capillaries. I don't want to slow it down with sugar or calories or foam or fucking ding dong jizz or whatever the fuck else people put in their coffee. But like, man, that extra dry, and then he has the audacity to be like, you didn't make it dry enough. Yep. I would be the worst employee there because I'd be like, you're getting a black coffee and you should be lucky that I'm not pouring it on you.
You're not allowed to say anything, and you have to remake it. It's actually their policy. You have to remake it. If somebody doesn't like it, you got to fucking remake it until they like it. And they're allowed to request another barista. They can request the manager to make it. It has to be made to, their standard. And what the guy was asking for,
to perfection.
They don't have the technology. It's just I can't do it, man. Like,
you want an extra dry? I'll pour some sand in it.
Yeah, it's like, look, dude, my training was a week, man. I'm not a fucking professional here. Like, what are you?
You're just
some sand and some spit.
Or you're just like, you're like, Jerry, think about what it means to be dry. Take this moment. What liquids do you have in your mouth? Nothing. And it's like, okay, you are satisfied. You do not want this coffee because this is liquid, sir.
So does Jerry just like want to whip it? Does he actually want coffee?
Who knows what the fuck he wants?
It sounds like
He wants a vacuum chamber in his mouth where it's actually removing all of the moisture. And we're losing pressure. We're creating a vacuum.
I gotta say, I have never heard in my entire life of some dumb asshole asking for a beverage to be dry that wasn't wine.
Oh wow,
what an asshole!
You young soul,
Jerry. If you ever see this, you're a goddamn fucking cretin.
Back to the Brown album.
Sorry, back to the Brown album.
Okay.
Which is
The Brown album does this to you. That's why it's a guilty pleasure.
You know, that's true. Brown album. Emilio, you showed me this record, and I will never. This will never be a guilty pleasure to me. I love this record. You showed me this record back in high school, and this was back when I was really into everything being like every guitar had to be shredding, progressive. This is how I describe it. My metal had to have progressive in front of it. That was my life for a little bit. When you showed me this,
weren't you
what?
I was just gonna say, like, I guess kind of like growing up, like you were like in high school and shit, you're into like that like post-hardcore shit that like
yeah, you're describing
like
Protest the Hero.
Kind of
that was my favorite band.
Yeah, Protest or Dance Gavin Dance, that kind of shit.
Dance Gavin Dance. That's one of Haley's favorite bands. They're actually really fun live. Anyways, so yeah, like I was really into like that proggy shit, and it had to be fast. That was like my, requirement for music, because it's like proggy and fast. I need
John Petrucci.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like into Dream Theater then. I actually like Dream Theater now. I feel like I'm getting older, so you get older and you're like, oh, I guess it's time to listen to Dream Theater. You know what I mean? Mike Mangini is a god on drums. That face right there, I don't know what that face means about Dream Theater. You're scaring me.
As you get older, you have to listen to Dream Theater.
I guess that's just. Hey, I'm talking about myself. Okay. I saw a third chest hair, and I was like, time to open up Dream Theater. Oh, here we go. Mike Portnoy. Who is that guy? But yeah, so you showed me this record, and you're like, this is one of the best bass players in the world. And I was like, let me hear it. I doubt it. And I was like, wow, this guy's actually pretty sick. And you taught me funk. You taught me that metal can be funky. And I appreciate it, man. And now this record's...
of course, man.
Yeah, like my favorite songs are... They're really driven by the drums. I play drums sometimes, so, that's probably why. But Camelback Cinema, I mean, it opens up with this sick-ass drum beat that, I think every Primus song, like, you can kind of do this to. Like, you kind of just, like, you know what I mean? Emilio, are you going to do it with us? Can you see it? Yeah, he gets it. Every Primus song, you can kind of do this to. And like
pretend you're riding an imaginary horse.
Yeah.
Right, or we're all like exercising together on like one of those like big balls.
Yeah,
and,
or like
we're
those little trampolines, but miniaturized.
I like what do you call it for? What do you call it for? Is it tramp?
I'm off the rails today.
I don't know why. The pronunciation made me think of like an aeroplane.
All right. God, this show's off the rails. We're really in the weeds here.
Feed them lines. Feed them lines.
Give me some lines. Line.
Shake hands with beef.
Shake hands with beef. Shake Hands with Beef is a great song. I don't know what that song's about. Could be about veganism or something. I also do
you really quick? Do you want the backstory of that song?
I mean, yeah, we're talking about the Brown album.
So
jerking off with beef.
Well, no, Shake Hands with Beef. Shake Hands with Beef. People thought, it's a song about jacking off.
Okay.
But it's not actually like the story behind Shake Hands with Beef, and maybe Les Claypool is fucking trolling here. But he has a friend who very seldom eats meat, But when he does eat meat, he kind of makes an event out of it, and like, you know, has a drink, and like, you know, it's kind of like an event. So it's like, you know, shake hands with beef. Like it's supposed to be very like regal, like, you know, it's, you know, he's shaking hands with beef, like roll out the cannonballs and pour us some wine.
Oh, okay.
Like it's almost like war-timey kind of like, yes, we're having meat, we're celebrating, we are rich, we are noblemen.
I'm glad you cleared that up, because I always thought that song was about Les Claypool going to a restaurant, having some wine, eating some steak, and then he has a buddy across the table who's like, I don't fucking shake hands with beef. Like, I don't know.
No, it's not. That's not what you thought. you just didn't want to.
I didn't want to say it.
You didn't want to talk.
You didn't want to say it was about jacking off.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I don't want to be that guy.
They're still at a nice restaurant, but you know, it's an under the table. You know, 10-cent palm wipe.
10 cents.
10-cent.
Yeah.
God damn, we're really in the weeds now.
Yeah, we are in the weeds.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? If I had to rate this record, and I'm being dead serious, we should get one day. We'll get really into this record, and Jared, we'll have you back on to actually really, really, really dive into this shit. I'm giving this a fucking 10 out of 10. And I'll
Jay, he's like, I don't give 10s to anything, man. I'm just gonna review these 3 records in a row, and they're all 10.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. Oh God, this is
Saint Anger 10.
Yeah, Saint Anger 10. Oh God, no, but I would give this. This is definitely like an 8 out of 10. When I first heard it, I really wasn't that into it. If you asked me to rate it when I first heard it when I was like a little teenager, I probably would have been like, this record's weird, man. I don't know what it is. But I started, you know, looking into Primus, listening to more Primus, and then you got to be a Primus fan to like love the record, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because this is kind of like, you know, this is their White Album. You know, this album is important to them. They also love this album too. They play a lot of these fucking songs live. But yeah, like an 8 out of 10 because it's a fucking solid record if you're a fan of Primus. I probably wouldn't show this to somebody and be like, hey, you want to hear what Primus sounds like? Listen to Brown Album, dude. Because then they'll be like, and 15 tracks of what? Like, that's probably what they'll say to you. Also, like, the lyrics are weird, and the way he sings is, you know, very odd.
Also weird.
Yes. It's like he's telling a secret to you. It's like what? Like while playing bass, like
a full volume, a full volume secret.
Yeah. I like the Les Claypool. All right, I'm saying the title right. Jerry was a race car driver, right?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Oh shit. Is it the song where he's like, ah, right?
That's AC/DC.
God damn it.
I think so. I think so, Jay. No, what the fuck? I know what you're talking about, but
yeah, is that him trying to sound? Is that him trying to sound like a car whizzing by?
Probably.
I think we're fucking past that point.
All right.
Jerry was a race car driver, so it's like Jerry was a race car driver. He drove so goddamn fast. You know, I don't know if that's the song where it goes, but I know what you're talking about.
All right, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Dude, that's Thunderstruck.
All right, Emilio, what do you rate this record? How many AC/DCs would you give this record?
Hold on. Really quick, do you remember being like 14, like 13 or 14? Like you're taking your first fucking like guitar class in high school and you hear
Too long ago.
because we had that as an elective, but you hear and you're like, oh my god. You're like, holy shit, that guy's shredding.
Are you my dad?
And like, yeah, and AC/DC, like, whatever, like, I think they're fucking cool. Like, they're kind of lame, but like at the same time they're cool.
That's my dad listens to that. He's too enthusiastic about it. He's like, listen, hey, this is real metal. You hear this shit? Like, what?
No, they're the riffs are pretty they're, for, as cool as they are and like prolific, like they're pretty minimal. They're pretty lazy, almost like AC/DC riffs. But anyway, I'm probably gonna give Brown Album I'd give this like a 9 out of 10 just because it's got a very special place in my heart. I really like this fucking album. I listened to it a lot way back when. Don't listen to it a lot now. I don't really, Primus isn't like my go-to band. But yeah, man, this album, when it, when I was fucking spinning it a lot, like I was listening to it all the time. So I'd say it's a 9 out of 10.
All right. I mean, that's a high score.
It's high up there.
Jared, what would you sorry, I had to do it. Jared, what would you give this big Brown album?
I'd say it's extra dry.
Ooh.
And it needs a little more foam. No, I'm just kidding. I will always be in love with Pork Soda. That was my introduction to Primus when I was in college. I was actually kind of stunted with classic albums. Like in high school, I honestly didn't really even listen to music critically and like intently until I got to college. But Pork Soda, my guitar player at the time when I was in a band called Bad Actor, was totally all about Les Claypool, and he was like, dude, you got to listen to this thing. He had Pork Soda on vinyl. But I did find my way to the Brown album. It's definitely not my favorite. I would say it's 50-50 almost evenly throughout the whole record, at least for me. But you can't deny songs like Rest in Bones, Golden Boy, Shake Hands with Beef.
Yeah.
Puddin' Tane is another one of my favorite Primus songs. Yeah, calls Puddin' Tane. But I would say this is a strong 7.
Yeah. Definitely listen to this record. If you heard fucking Rest in Bones and you're like, damn, that's some good shit. But
then listen to Puddin' Tane naked with the lights off.
Yeah. No AC. Dehydrate yourself.
Dehydrate yourself with more foam in that latte.
Yes. But I'm gonna play my favorite track. It's not like any of these tracks because I think my co-host here, I think both of them are a little bit confused on what the best track is on the record. All right.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
I just realized I was about to play Golden Boy, and you said Golden Boy, so I might have just fucked that up.
You fucked yourself, son.
All right. Well,
Were you gonna play Thunderstruck?
You're just gonna play.
Yeah. So play Thunderstruck. All right. Okay, by the way, can you guys hear the stream? Not Emilio. Can you hear the stream?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I just unmuted it.
Can you hear it?
No, I can hear it. It's fine.
All right. Wait. Can you guys hear this for a second? Is this the right song?